It is downright embarrassing how much I have been waiting for this new season of Bridgerton, because I was an avid hater of Bridgerton when it first came out. The first season, I was not a fan of. I'm gonna be the first one to say it. I barely even watched it. Like, I literally skimmed through it, and I was like, once I got the point, I was done with the show. But the second season ate it up, and then I was left wanting so bad for the third season to come out. So now that it's finally here, I finished it in literally a split second. I'm not a binge watcher. I've never really been the kind of person who can watch a series in one day, or who can watch more than like 3 episodes at once. But with Bridgerton, it's a whole different story. So I'm gonna give y'all my 2 cents on this season so far, because I felt a lot of ways. I'm scared. Brother, you don't think they can hear all? Actually, so wrong for making this 4 episodes. Oh my gosh, the hell, I'm so upset. I have a few predictions about what's gonna happen in the second part, so we'll get into that as well. So first things first, I want to speak on Eloise and Penelope and their relationship. Their friendship ending is so heart-wrenching for me. Some of the scenes with Eloise and Penelope literally made me want to tear up, because friendship heartbreaks are so painful. Friendship breakups are the worst. If any of y'all have ever had a really dear friend that you lost, that you had a falling out with, you know that shit really does suck. The thing is, you can tell that Eloise and Penelope both care about each other still so much. It's not like they literally just hate each other now and are always scowling at each other from across the ballroom. They are literally still very much invested in one another's well-being, but they have to be from afar. And I really do feel for them. I think the scene where Eloise is like running behind Penelope, and so is Colin, to make her feel better after the secret has come out that Colin's helping her find a eligible suitor, it just really got me, because I was like, look at her, like she literally cannot pretend that she doesn't care about her friend or her ex-friend. And also the scene where she comes to Penelope's house to let her know that she had accidentally shared the news of her getting Colin's help to find an eligible husband, and that she's sorry. And then Penelope's face and Eloise's face, and just that like empty silence of them both wishing they could speak more and reconnect. It was just so... that scene was so well performed. The pure pain in her eyes was just, it was really well performed. She literally looked like she wanted to cry, but she couldn't. Penelope is also literally the laughing stock of the ton, and I hate that for her. I really do. I find that the entire society bullies Penelope in a way. She is a character that you pity, and I hate the word pity. I really do, because pity is to speak of someone as if they are defenseless. They are only someone you can feel bad for. I hate the word pity, but I feel like when you look at Penny just as a member of society, that's what you think. Oh my gosh, she's so pitiful, because she's always backed up in this corner, and nobody really has her back other than Eloise, and now in this season Colin. But before this season, Eloise was her only friend, the only person she could confide in, the only person who understood her, and now even Eloise is not there for her. Her sisters are like the 2 wicked stepsisters from Cinderella. Like, they're both incredibly cruel to Penelope. They don't even address her as a full person. They kind of just see her as like a prop, someone that's there, and they're always shocked when anything good happens to Penelope, which really gets me, because I'm like, that is your sister. Like, how can you be so close to one another, but then particularly cruel to your youngest sister? It boils my blood. And I think what's also really upsetting for a character like Penelope is that she had Eloise as a best friend, but that means she also witnessed how close Eloise and her siblings were. And that's what I love about the Bridgertons as a family. Like, they are such a close-knit family. It's so lovely to watch all the siblings interact with each other, get along with each other, protect one another, have each other's back, crack jokes. And Penelope has always seen that, knowing that she couldn't have that. And I think that is really heart-wrenching for her, because you have siblings of your own, but you know that you can never confide in them the same way you're able to watch your best friend do with all 7 of her siblings. And Penelope's mom is just that girl is a whole thing and a half. She is just built different. I really do, I will say, love that Lady Featherington is a woman on business. Like, she's about it. She's trying to figure out how to secure funds for her family after her husband like literally left them to like fend for themselves. And I can respect that. She has orchestrated different scenarios and done things that aren't maybe the most respectable, but understandable when you think about the fact that she has to, on her own, protect her daughters, I should say, and they're standing in society all on her own with no male family member that could protect them. But what really grinds my gears about Lady Featherington is just how she literally perceives Penelope as other. She is her daughter just the same as the other two, but she has already decided from a long time ago that Penelope will never get far in society, that she will not find a husband that will actually take her serious and take care of her. She is just going to always stick under her mother's arm and take care of Lady Featherington when she's older. It's sad. For Penelope, she gets to see her two sisters get taken care of. No matter how ridiculous they act in society, they get all of their mom's attention, but also their mom's affection. And Penelope, who is actually very intelligent, is the one who is constantly ignored and pushed into a corner and forgotten about. And that comes from the fact and a lot of that comes from the fact that her own mother can't take her seriously. I wonder how different Penelope's life would be if her mom actually believed in her and actually put in the same effort and time in Penelope's life and well-being as she does to Penelope's other two older siblings. Anthony and Kate in this season are very, very cute. I mean, they were cute in the second season, so it's so nice to see them now in their marital bliss. But I will say, I get so tense every time they get it poppin', because I just think about the fact that y'all are not gonna like this, but I don't enjoy watching people of color get down and dirty. And it's simply just because in the adult film world, people of color are fetishized in different ways and objectified in different ways. Yeah. I wonder if people look at the person of color in these scenes and see them as these fetishes that they have. Anyways, I do love seeing them, best buddies for life. They always had a bond in the second season, and we didn't get to see very much of it until the last two episodes. We mostly saw them hide their feelings from each other and pretend to hate one another. And then finally in this season, we're actually able to enjoy them being in love, getting comfortable into married life. And what I really, really love is just how happy they are, because what the second season did so well was make Anthony seem so down bad, and not in a sexual way, but like he was going to lose his mind if he didn't have Kate. Like I was eating it up when he was so worried about her when he brought her home after she had a head injury from falling off of her horse, and then when he freaked out when a bee was near her because he thought she was gonna die. Like, desperation that he had, the look on his face of just being scared for his life, thinking that the woman he loves is about to be dead. I ate it up. And now just to see them happy and in love and openly in love, it feels like a reward. I just had to come in here real quick and say, where is Colin's desperation in this half of the season so far? Why is Colin not begging for Penelope? What's going on? I was really confused as to how we started off the season with Colin being this big jerk in Penelope's eyes because he had hurt her feelings. All of a sudden, literally in 3 episodes, without us getting enough interaction between the two, he's willing to admit that he wants her. Like, it's a little too quick, and not enough drama has happened between them for it to feel satisfying. Season 1, there wasn't a lot of drama between the two before they got married, but they got married really quickly because the storyline was different. The Duke didn't want to get married, and then he ended up getting married, and they fell in love after getting married. But here it's like, it's not that Colin is opposed to getting married. There just hasn't been enough that's happened between them for us to be like, oh, finally they're together, So I'm really hoping in the second half of the season, things are up 10 notches. Let's turn up the heat. Turn it up. Colin is a character who I don't necessarily love, but I don't hate. I love the glow up that he has in the season. Like, all the Bridgertons go through a glow up. Honestly, all of them look so great in this season. They have all glown up. I love how Bridgerton makes the men in the Bridgerton family come off masculine, but not hyper masculine, not masculine in a toxic way. Even if they explore toxic masculinity, it's not that the Bridgerton men are violent or aggressive or anything like that. They are loving, they are gentle. But yeah, I always found Colin, I didn't like Colin ever since season 1, honestly, because I always found that he treated Penelope he almost treated her like a pet. Yeah, That's the best way to put it. Like, he enjoyed her company, but not enough to take her seriously. He carried her along with him with whatever he did and never took into consideration how she might feel. I mean, the whole thing with Marina in season 1, you're obviously welcome to fall in love with whoever you fall in love with, but I just feel like he could have been more aware of how Penelope would feel about that, considering, you know, she was his good friend. I just wish he kind of thought about what she might think. I wish if he knew that she was someone that he could trust and talk to and be his honest self with, that he considered her a little bit more. And then in the second season, he threw me off. Like, I was pissed for Miss Penelope, okay? Because what do you mean you're going to treat this girl like she's your greatest friend and in her face be kicking, laughing, cracking jokes with her, and then behind her back be laughing with a group of men as if you don't know the whole ton is always laughing at Penelope, and tell them, I would never take Penelope very seriously. I want to see him suffer. Okay, I want to see him suffer for that. But at the same time, Penelope is such a difficult character because I want to like her. I really do. But at the same time, part of me has always seen Penelope as a very sly and low-key cunty character. She is obviously going through it in society, in the sense that nobody respects her enough to give her any agency, any credibility, or even acknowledge that she is a beautiful, beautiful girl. And I do really love that Penelope has found a way to hone her writing skills into something that she's passionate about in a way that she's able to regain some of her power. But at the same time, it's in such a nasty form. The gossipers, they're never people you can really talk too highly of, because what do? They just create unnecessary chaos in people's lives. They ruin people's reputations. The fact that Penelope is the main source of gossip and distress in the Mayfair ton, it's like really hard to then like you completely, you know? It's honestly very admirable that she literally has the ton shaking. People care more about what Lazy Whistledown thinks versus what the queen thinks of them, and I think that is crazy. Like, that is hella power that Penelope has in her hands. But some of the things she's done in the past is honestly like really messed up. I can understand what she did to Eloise in season 2 when she exposed that she was running around with Theo, because she was obviously trying to protect Eloise, because if you guys don't remember, the queen had suspected that Eloise was Lady Whistledown and it threatened to kind of ruin her reputation in society. And to protect Eloise so that the queen would give up that idea, she wrote badly of her. And obviously, why would Eloise write badly of herself? But she also exposed her very sweet friendship with Theo, which could have blossomed into something more. I would wish that it does, because I would love to go back to that. I would love to see a potential Viscountess fall in love with a commoner. Like, I'm here for that plot. But anyways, and then it ended her friendship with Theo. It was just really sad to see that she had to literally cut that relationship short simply because of classism. It was also kind of disappointing that she didn't fight against it, because I was like, girl, I feel like you, of all people, don't really care about classism, but you ended this friendship so fast because of what, Lady Whistledown? It's understandable, but I also kind of expected more of Eloise. But anyways, I digress. Ultimately, Penelope was trying to protect Eloise, but in the first season, what Penelope wrote about Marina was wild. I had a friend literally say to me, I'm surprised that Marina wasn't stoned after everyone found out that she was pregnant out of wedlock. And for Penelope to expose that, it's not even like she put her reputation in danger. I wouldn't even say she put her physical well-being in danger. Yeah, I don't know how you can forgive that. Colin was involved with Marina, and that was the driving factor for why Penelope wrote what she did. And I don't think that will sit very well with Colin. He is gonna be raging when he thinks about the fact that, yeah, he once upon a time was interested in someone else, honestly wanted to pursue them, would have married them, but because of what Lady Featherington, aka Penelope, wrote in the papers and the way the Ton reacted, that had to end. It wasn't like he ended things with Marina because ultimately they didn't love each other or there was a lack of a friendship or no sparks. It was simply because they got screwed over. Yeah, that really makes me worried for how Colin is going to perceive Penelope when he finds out, because he will. Like, this is Bridgerton. The secrets come to the surface. I'd be stressed for her. Because here's the thing. Even in the second season, like Anthony, when he was stressed or when he was angry, like he was very, I'm mad, I'm angry. I don't know why. I feel more afraid when Colin gets upset. Like when he discovered that Penelope was reading his journal, the look on his face, the split second of anger, kind of freaked me out. I was like, and then when he told his mom,
I'm all right.
I was a little shook. I'm not gonna lie. I was a little shaken up by that. I was like, you look hella angry when you are angry. Even though he never acts on it, he's not an aggressive character or anything, I'd be scared of him. I'd be scared. I thought I left Scarborough. Before I get into my predictions, I do want to say that I really like the exploration of Francesca and Cressida. I like that Francesca is just like, you know, she doesn't get her own season, but it's nice to kind of see her innocently fall in love. She's so unproblematic. She's so sweet. She's so to herself. And I think she really represents those of us who are quiet and who can't necessarily and don't know necessarily how to put ourselves out there, but very much still seek company and seek love, but just do it in our own quiet ways. Like, I find her very relatable in that sense. She's not, you know, antisocial or anything, but she just has a very quiet and gentle way about moving through society. And also Cressida has been such a flat character for all of the seasons so far. She's literally just the mean girl, and that's all she brings to the table. But in this season, I love actually exploring the mean girl and her ups and downs, her struggles. It's all very, very cliche. Like, oh, of course, like the mean girl has a family that's quite cruel to her and, you know, never really thinks of her as a full person or gives her any credit for anything that she does. Yeah. How many times have you heard that one? I still really feel for Cressida every time we get to find out more and more about her struggles, you know? I think knowing for the past 2 seasons that she has simply just been a mean girl, now finally getting the chance to know her better makes it all the more interesting. There's a sadness in Cressida's eyes in this season that we've never seen before. It's not envy, it's not jealousy, it's not cruelty, it's a sadness. And she has always felt like she's had to pin herself against other women simply because otherwise she won't get what she needs, and the necessity that is to find an eligible husband is very vulnerable of her, and we've never seen her be vulnerable before. So I've been really enjoying kind of watching her in her own funny ways be very powerful and dominant whenever she's out trying to find a suitor, but also just hear about the struggles of her life. Well, my camera died and my charger is in my roommate's room, who is sleeping, so we will resort to this instead. I do really think that once they're engaged, there's going to be a lot of pressure on Penelope, and it's going to come from Eloise because it's her brother. Eloise is going to be concerned for her brother, and she doesn't trust Penelope. Clearly, she feels a hell of a lot towards Penelope, and it would not sit right with her that her brother is now engaged to the person that literally has caused her family so much unnecessary scandal. I think what's going to happen is Eloise is going to pressure Penelope to tell him who she really is, and if he's still able to overcome his resentment or his anger, see through it, see past it, then go ahead, have your marriage. But if not, then, you know, this is not meant to be. Eloise will not be okay with Colin and Penelope getting married without him knowing that she's Lady Whistledown. And I think if Penelope doesn't tell Colin herself, Eloise will. What I'm predicting is Penelope will tell Colin, who will become extremely angered, probably even end the engagement, which will probably have Penelope spiraling, which I will hate because I'm tired of seeing Penelope suffer. I still think she's someone who has endured a lot of unnecessary bullying from the entire ton. Like, the entire ton has bullied this girl for a while. I think she will write a piece that is very, very vulnerable without really giving away who she is boldly, but still insinuating who she is. I think Pen is going to write a piece where she basically gets vulnerable with the ton and explains from the perspective of Lady Whistledown what it is like to be a wallflower. What is it like to always be bullied and outcasted and laughed at, and how that can be really tiring. And so when no one else will take you serious or will treat you with kindness, you find comfort in the corners of society, and you realize that your power is in overhearing conversations and then sharing that with the rest of society. That is your way of finding a friendship with everyone, is by simply giving people something to talk about. And I think this vulnerable piece might just make Colin see past what Penelope has done in the past with all the articles she's put out and the scandals that she has caused, and come to forgive her, and that might lead to them rekindling. And I think Lady Whistledown will lose her credibility in society. I think she will become someone, once this piece comes out, it's ultimately going to be Lady Whistledown surrendering, and society will no longer be in such a chokehold by by Lady Whistledown, and instead it'll just be like a fun-loving little article that comes out weekly that kind of discusses or summarizes what the town is going through, rather than pinning stories and creating drama that doesn't need to happen. I think the nature of Lady Whistledown will change so that Penelope can still continue to do what she loves, but she can regain the respect of the people that she loves, who have found out the unnecessary things that she has caused, the not so respectable things that she has caused to happen in society, especially towards the Bridgertons. I also really hope, I really want to see Colin down bad again for Penelope. I want to see him literally lose it for her. And I think even though he will be angry knowing that she is Lady Whistledown and has caused these scandals for his family not once but twice, I think he will start to understand how she was doing it to protect Eloise, understand maybe why she wrote what she did, and even though it wasn't the most pleasant way to protect her, it was her attempt to protect her, and also maybe reflect on his own actions in season 1 when he treated Penelope like a pet. And that will ultimately make him realize that he was right for asking for a hand, and that this is the woman of his life, this is the woman of his dreams. He just has to do better in order for her to feel powerful, not just with her pen, but also by showing face in society. Those are my thoughts on this half of the season. I'd be so interested in hearing your guys' predictions or your thoughts so far, so please make sure to leave a comment down below and tell me what you think. And if you have not subscribed already, what is you doing, bruv? You know what you gotta do. And I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.